For the first time in 5 years, Americans are viewing immigration more positively. Yes, even while raids increase, lawsuits rise, and USCIS gains police powers, public opinion is shifting. Why are attitudes improving while enforcement is getting tougher? And what does this contradiction mean for immigrants, green card holders, and future applicants? Stay with me, I'll break down the biggest developments you need to know right now. This is Immiscope, your trusted source for U.S. immigration news, policy changes, and visa updates. Immigration in 2025 is entering a strange moment of contrast. On one side, enforcement is expanding. USCIS is now armed with police authority. ICE just carried out large raids in New York. And the Department of Justice is suing major cities like Boston over sanctuary protections. On the other side, public sentiment is softening. According to Gallup, more Americans now see immigrants as strengthening the country, not weakening it. This clash between rising enforcement and growing support makes immigration one of the most complex and unpredictable issues in the U.S. today. USCIS gains law enforcement power. Until now, USCIS was mostly an administrative body focused on processing applications, petitions, and interviews. But on September 4, 2025, everything changed. A newly finalized DHS rule gave specially designated USCIS agents, 1811 officers, full law enforcement authority. That means arresting individuals suspected of immigration violations, carrying firearms while on duty, executing warrants issued by federal courts, initiating expedited removals without lengthy court processes. The government frames this as a way to improve fraud detection and national security. But here's the challenge: if the same agency deciding your green card also has the power to detain and deport, applicants may feel less secure. For immigrants, this could mean more enforcement presence at interviews, site visits, and adjustment of status appointments. It's a shift from paperwork to policing, and one that could reshape the immigration experience in America. ICE raids in New York. At the same time, ICE is intensifying operations. In Cato, New York, and nearby areas, dozens of individuals were detained this week during large-scale raids. Governor Kathy Hochul raised concerns over the suddenness of these actions, and advocacy groups are warning that fear is spreading across immigrant communities. ICE insists the raids are targeted, focusing on people with prior deportation orders or criminal records. But for families in mixed-status households, the fear is universal. These raids highlight how enforcement isn't just about policies on paper, it's about lives interrupted in real time. DOJ sues Boston over sanctuary policies. Another front in this enforcement push is the courtroom. The Department of Justice has filed a lawsuit against Boston, arguing that its sanctuary city policies obstruct federal law. Boston, like other sanctuary cities, limits cooperation with ICE, refusing to hold individuals past their release date just for immigration reasons. The DOJ argues this weakens enforcement. Boston leaders argue it protects immigrant communities and strengthens local trust in law enforcement. With similar lawsuits in Los Angeles and New York City, this isn't just about Boston. It's a nationwide battle over whether local governments must help enforce federal immigration law. The results of these cases could decide whether sanctuary protections survive or vanish in the years ahead. Americans' views on immigration become more positive. Now, let's return to where we started, the shift in public opinion. According to the new Gallup poll, Americans are now expressing the most positive views on immigration in the last 5 years. More people say immigration strengthens the U.S. economy, society, and culture. Support for pathways to legalization is climbing, and fewer Americans rank immigration as the country's #1 problem. This doesn't erase concerns about border security or illegal entry, but it shows a larger shift. The idea of immigrants as contributors, not threats, is gaining ground. For immigrants and advocates, this could mean more momentum for reform. For policymakers, it's a warning sign that public patience for endless crackdowns is limited. Key takeaways. USCIS now holds arrest powers, creating a new enforcement dynamic at interviews and applications. ICE raids in New York show on-the-ground enforcement is intensifying. The DOJ's lawsuit against Boston challenges sanctuary protections nationwide. Despite all this, Americans are becoming more welcoming toward immigration. This contradiction, tougher policies but friendlier attitudes, defines the immigration landscape of 2025. How this affects you? These updates aren't just distant policy moves, they directly impact the daily lives of immigrants, applicants, and families. If you're applying for a green card or naturalization, USCIS's new enforcement authority means the stakes at interviews are much higher. What was once just a paperwork review now has the potential for on-the-spot action if something appears suspicious. For those living in New York or nearby states, the ICE raids show that removals remain a top federal priority. Even if the official target is people with prior deportation orders or convictions. These operations create a ripple of fear in immigrant communities, including among those with lawful status. If you live in a sanctuary city, lawsuits against Boston, Los Angeles, and New York may weaken the protections you thought were secure. For years, sanctuary rules gave communities some insulation from federal enforcement. Now, those protections could vanish depending on court outcomes. And for those hoping for reform, the Gallup poll is a silver lining. With public opinion turning more positive, the possibility of Congress being pressured into meaningful immigration reform, whether for dreamers, family backlogs, or workers, may become stronger. Key impacts to keep in mind: higher stakes at USCIS interviews and site visits. Ongoing risk from ICE raids, especially in New York. A sanctuary protections under legal attack. Public opinion shifts that could open doors to reform. Tips and warnings. With all these changes, preparation and awareness are more important than ever. First, prepare your documents with care. Small mistakes, like missing signatures, outdated information, or inconsistent dates, may once have caused only delays. Now, under stricter enforcement, those errors could be treated as fraud, denial, or even removal. Second, know your rights during enforcement actions. ICE cannot legally enter your home without a warrant signed by a judge. Administrative warrants or notices are not enough. If officers knock, you are not required to open the door unless they show proper documentation. Third, always stay truthful in immigration filings and interviews. Misrepresentation has always been risky, but now it carries even sharper consequences. Finally, have a family plan in place. This preparation can make a critical difference in emergencies. Practical steps you can take right now. Double-check all USCIS forms before submission. Learn how to recognize a valid judicial warrant. Avoid misrepresentation or shortcuts in your case. Create a family safety plan in case of detention. Immigration in America is being reshaped from both ends. Agencies like USCIS, ICE, and the DOJ are expanding enforcement powers, while public opinion is leaning toward greater acceptance. This tension, between stricter rules and more open attitudes, will define the next stage of immigration in 2025 and beyond. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon for future updates. Thanks for watching Immiscope. See you in the next video.